Hello, and thank you for joining me again today. And we're outside enjoying this beautiful weather that October has brought upon us. And you know, it's not too late to get out in the garden and get some bulbs planted. Bulbs are a giant leap in faith, really, and because you plant them now and you don't see them again into the spring, and you just hope the squirrels aren't going to find them, and you hope that they don't dry out, and you hope that they don't get too hot. And that's a real problem here in southern Alberta. It's not the fact that it gets too cold. What happens is that our soil often gets warm and dry in January when the Chinooks blow in, and our bulbs tend to get a little bit dry. So we really want to get them in as early as you can in the season so that they get a really good start and they get nice and full and of moisture and rooted. Well, the very first thing that you're probably most familiar with is the lonesome tulip. And the tulips come in all shapes and sizes. Now, when you read the box on a tulip, if it says mid-spring, that's probably June in Alberta, so don't choose that one. Choose one that says early spring, or it may even say March on it, and then it'll come in May. Those guidelines are really recommended for a coastal or not such a harsh climate as we have, and where the soil gets warm. So I really like to use a mid-height around a 14-inch so they don't blow over, and I like to buy 1 or 2 colors, but that's really up to you. You find that the taller ones do tend to come late in the season, and when you're wanting to put your geraniums and your bedding plants in, you still have beautiful blooming tulip. Okay, all right. Now, here I am, as you can see, laying out the tulips, getting ready to have the space for the springtime show. The problem is that you need a lot of tulips to make a really good display, and most people don't have the time, the energy, or the money to buy that many tulips. I mean, if you go to Ottawa, you know they come in containers and they come from Holland. But we just want a couple of little bags to make a good show. So my theory always has been that I plant them in certain areas, not everywhere, and I plant them only where I see them, mostly, and I plant them thick so that they make a good show. And also then, if the odd squirrel gets a couple, the other ones will fill in and take up. If I plant them too thin, if the squirrel gets them, then then it's going to have a big hole. All right, so there you can see them laid out, and then I just take my trowel and I just go down about 6 inches, put them in, and then fill them up on top. Okay, and that's it. That is a planted tulip. People always want to know about planting garlic and planting all the other bulbs. How deep do you plant them? Well, first of all, you need just a plain and simple trowel. I have a trowel here with markings on it, but you just need to dig them in the same depth as the bulb is big, okay? So if it's a smaller bulb, it's only going to be planted the same depth as the bulb is big. So that's a really good general rule. Double whatever. Now everybody always asks me about garlic, and I've never really been a garlic expert, but I do know that you do need to break your garlic apart very, very, very carefully. I love to plant garlic, and the garlic industry in Alberta is huge now. And in southern Alberta, they grow, this is all grown locally here, actually in this town. So this is the garlic clove, and this flat end here is where the roots will appear, and this is where the garlic scape will come in the midsummer, which are, by the way, an excellent green as well. And the bulb itself will be ready to harvest probably by the middle of September to the first part of September. Look at how beautiful that is. And by the way, they need a full sun garden type location. Yes, the paper is extremely important to leave on the garlic clove itself. Don't peel the garlic. This paper, if it falls off, even try to protect the clove a little bit more by just putting it on like that just before you plant it. It gives it a little more protection from the moisture.